Okay.
Welcome to Japanese Craft Beer Reviews. I'm here with Al in Japan, and today we have a beer from a brewery that Al and I have known and have had many things from over the past 20, 25 years, maybe more.
30. Yeah.
Yeah, we're dating ourselves here. And the brewery
Yeah, yeah.
is, what's the name of the brewery, Alan?
It is Minoh or Aru Brewing, and
Yeah,
we all refer to it as Minoh Brewing, and they are kind of a legendary first mover in the Kansai area, the Osaka, Kyoto, and Kobe area.
they are. They are. And so it's called Minoh Beer, technically. And as Al mentioned, the original name, in fact, it's still on the company on the labels, AJI. Aji means flavor in
Oh, yeah,
Japanese. Yeah.
flavor.
And they are located in Minoh, which is just to the north of Osaka City, where the mountains start coming in, where the concrete meets the hills. And they were founded in 1996 and by a man named Masaji Oshita. And he was involved in the liquor business, I believe a distributor. And
Mm.
he decided that he was going to build a brewery and his daughters would run it. He has three daughters, and he one day took them there and said, "This is where you're going to make beer." And they had no idea. They were not trained at all, but they learned, on the fly and started brewing from 1997.
Mm.
And they made only extract brews until 2002. And I think
Mm.
most would say the quality of their beer was kind of variable up until that point. And the uh, oldest daughter, Kaori Oshita, was the head brewer, and she was the only brewer. And as they got more popular, things got more hectic, and I think quality suffered at that point because she just
Mm.
basically had too much to do. But now at this point in time, they have 24 employees, so she has plenty of
Oh,
help. And
wow.
the not only that, but unfortunately, the father died, and she also took over as the CEO of the company. So she's not only the
Mm.
head brewer, she's also the CEO, and she attends many beer events. Once I talked to her, and she said she attended something like 100 different events in the course of a year. So they
Yeah.
have certainly gotten better over time, and they have a place called the Warehouse, which is up in Mino, where you can try their beer, and also a location in Osaka in Tenma area called Beer Belly Tenma. And that's probably the best place to get the full range of their beers and probably their latest seasonals as well. Um,
Yeah.
and they have an anniversary party every year, and Al and I have been at least
Mm.
once. I think I've been twice. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's kind of hard to remember those parties.
It was in the old days, and it was pretty freewheeling. And there was a park right in front of the brewery. This is an old brewery now that they've moved to a bigger place. But
Yeah.
boy, and there was a fair number of foreign people from living who live in Japan went there, and boy, were we getting wasted on WIPA, which is their flagship beer,
Right.
which was really at that time was really one of the better IPAs around,
Yeah.
particularly as
8.8%.
Imperial IPA.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very
So,
flavorful. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, we drank a lot. We were
well,
into
back
that
in
was
those
the
days, it
young
was a set price. I
day.
think they charged us something like 2,000 or 3,000 yen, and it was all you can drink and all you can eat. And they had their the one of the sisters' husband is a cook for Beer Belly as well, and
Oh yeah,
he was out there making food. And so for that limited price, it was basically $20 or something. And you can drink these beers all day long. And of course, the park suddenly filling up with people toppled over and
yep. Casualties. Yes.
yeah. Anyway, it was one of the best parties around. Of course, now that they've gotten so popular, they've limited it certainly to a certain number of people, and the price has gone up and all that. They do make
Sure. Yeah.
a variety of beers, and they're widely available certainly throughout the Kansai region. They make a Pils, Pale Ale, Weizen, Stout, and as Al mentioned, the W-IPA, their double IPA, which from time to time can be the best beer in Japan. It's really quite exceptional. It's an old school.
Yeah, it used to be really one of the top. I'm not sure nowadays. I think it's still very good. I'm not sure if I'd put it at the top now, but they've done pretty well at maintaining I think it's their flagship, or I view it as for me, it's my personal one of theirs that I really like.
They also put out a number of seasonals, and we're going to look at one today. A lot of different seasonals, certainly. So if you go to a large Yamaya store, you may find a variety of Minoh beers, certainly.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And now let's look at a nice seasonal beer from Minoh Beer. And this one is, what's it called, Al?
It's called Rice Bock. And it is a
Weizenbock. Yeah. And so
yes, Weizenbock.
Notice the monkey. This is kind of the symbol of Minoh. And the reason, of course, is that they have monkeys up in the mountains there. The mountains around Minoh are famous for a large monkey population. So they have adapted that into several of their beer labels, for sure. The monkey is carrying wheat on his back, and he is drinking a nice Weizenbock, I think. So this beer is a new one for them. Excuse me. And it is 8% alcohol and 19 international bitter units. It's a Weizenbock, as we mentioned, and it has one hop, and that is Motueka, a New Zealand hop. But the special ingredient here is the use of rice and kōji, which is the kind of you call it a fungus, Alan? Is it it's not
a fungus? Yes.
Yeah. So it basically functions similar to yeast, as yeast does in beer, but in sake they use kōji to ferment the rice. And so, go ahead. Yes.
Oh yes, the kōji converts. It's like an enzyme. It helps to convert the carbohydrates from the rice into fermentable. It makes it more fermentable, so that when the yeast can then use that and convert it to alcohol.
Okay, thank you. Yes, that's correct. Yeah, and so we have malt, rice, and kōji, and hops. And the brewer said that this is a more time-consuming process to make this. I think we could say it's maybe a kind of hybrid. Because of the kōji in it, certainly. And so its alcohol is 8%, 19 IBUs. It's cost 717 yen at the store. That would be $4.50 in US dollars. And if you're counting euros, it would be €3.89. Okay. So Motueka hops and some wheat. They don't specify wheat on the website, and on the label they just say bakuga, which means malt, which could be wheat or barley, but we assume it must be wheat. So they have made Weizenbocks in the past, but never with the kōji. So that should be an interesting one. Shall we?
Yes.
This beer kind of flew out of the bottle for both Al and I. They recommended it to drink it at what temperature? 10 degrees?
10 to 14 degrees C, or that's about 50 to 57 Fahrenheit.
So quite a bit warmer than refrigeration temperature. And Al and I both put it out, and of course it became a gusher.
Yeah, we lost some of the head there, let's say. I'm seeing foam in the bottle. There is some foam.
Certainly.
It is the sell-by date, by the way, was April. We've had this for a while.
No, I think that's production date on, isn't it?
Let me see.
No, you're right. Never mind. Yeah.
Yeah. So April 2nd. So it's a couple months beyond. So maybe that it's fermented. The yeast is probably still alive, and
so
that's kind of a good sign. It's a good sign, right? The yeast is still alive. Okay.
Well, certainly, it's some. Cheers. Some wheat coming out.
Kanpai. Here we go.
Ding. Some wheat coming out.
Oh yeah, got the rice there too. Banana.
Absolutely.
A little bit of sour banana, almost, or green banana.
Yeah. Not so much clove, but banana for sure.
The clove is something like clove, a sour clove. That's really interesting.
Certainly getting alcohol fumes as well.
Mm.
I have to say the nose is a bit crude, but the banana fumes and
Mm.
okay.
Yep. They do mention that the rice adds sweetness and umami, which is from their website.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Okay.
Mm.
Mild, but flavorful.
Mm. Mild, sweet,
Very
light,
sweet.
some banana, um, with that hint of clove. It's the spices are they're a little bit restrained, but they're there. That's kind of nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty full bodied.
Mhm. Now the koji here, what do you think it's doing? Mm.
It does. I wonder if that adds some body to it or not. I don't really know. They do claim that adds, I think, the sweetness. That would make sense because with sake,
Yeah.
because it does have that sake-like sweetness.
Well, yeah, sweetness, but not a flavor. And when I get beers that have koji or sake rice in
Yeah,
it, I generally notice it definitely has a sake element,
there's
and I don't
there
get
is
that
a
here.
there is like a flavor usually that you get. I do get the sake-like. Yeah, I think the texture is kind of sake-like, and maybe a little bit of sake rice flavor is kind of blended in
You get
there.
it?
Maybe it's
Okay.
my imagination. I mean, I haven't had a lot of sake recently, but I used to drink sakes and taste sakes, and this is familiar.
Yeah, yeah. Generally, when I
The
find when
aroma,
people make a hybrid like this, you really notice the sake element in it, and yeah,
yeah, I'm
I
not
think it's
quite.
doing something else.
Yeah. And the aroma, I was thinking I was getting, it's right borderline. I kind of think, am I getting a slight metallic note? And I'm not sure if I am or not. It's borderline,
What point? At what point?
right at the beginning on the nose, not on the palate, not on the flavor, but just the aroma. It's really borderline. I think it's, the banana can, I think
There's some
I'm not sure.
phenols. In fact, they mention on the website mild phenols, so a kind of phenolic note. I
Hmm,
think that's must be what you're getting there is a
that
light
could be,
light what Band-Aid or something like that.
yeah, but it's not intrusive too much. It's not
No,
bad.
it's not.
Um,
No. But she did certainly mention there are phenols, in this.
yeah. This might actually be better served colder, which is rare that I say that. But it's decent. It's not bad. I think I would like
Okay.
to try this on draft. I'd really like to try this on draft here.
Yeah. Wonder if they do have it at Tenmabashi.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, decent balance. It's the weight. It's got enough flavor. It's kind of a gentle,
Yeah.
a banana sweet, gentle spice.
Light phenol.
Um, yeah, the finish is yeah, it lingers. Well, I wouldn't say it lingers a lot. It's a fairly, it's kind of a sweet, light, sweet finish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not, but it doesn't. It is somewhat clean, almost clean. It's not quite, but a little comes close to being
Plain.
clean.
Yeah. Almost. Yeah. I'm going to say it's not exactly one-dimensional, but it doesn't take us on a big tour of flavor elements, throughout the palate.
Yeah,
Definitely.
kind of a little bit of banana, a little bit of clove, sweetness.
Not much. It's
Holds
not a
on.
not a terribly complex Weizenbock.
Yeah, pretty straightforward.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. You're kinder
But
than I am.
somehow I managed to knock it off pretty fast, though, and then with that high alcohol, it'll get me.
Yeah. Okay. So I think Al probably likes this a little better than I do, but it is an interesting beer. It's still available. It was available last week at the Yamiya store where I bought it, and So you can go ahead and
Yeah.
try to pick one up if you want, and try other Minoh beers. Certainly, they are again a legacy brewer in Japan for sure.
Yeah, they might have it on discount because often what Yamaya, if they get to that sell-by date, usually around the sell-by date, they're discounting it. So you might see it on discount.
Yeah. So
And
again,
I'd pick it up on discount for sure.
yeah, it would be worth it, certainly. Yeah. So once again, it's called Minoh Rice Bock. Is a Weizenbock at 8%, 19 IBUs with kōji rice and kōji in it. And so give it a go. Tell us what you think. And what's your experience with hybrid beers? Have you had, like sake beers or beers with perhaps, grape
Yeah,
juice or
you
grape
mentioned,
skins in it? People are doing that kind
yeah,
of quite a bit,
yeah, they're interesting. I mean, they're fusion beers. There's such a wide range of them that some work better than others.
Yeah.
There was one that's similar to this, possibly that we talked about. I think it was called what was that? We were talking about it
Oroshi.
beforehand.
Oroshi.
Oroshi. And that one is a big, full-bodied kind of a Bock-like style as well that I think was pretty good. So yeah, I think there's potential. It's such a huge category. There's so many different things you could do.
Sure.
I mean, adding wasabi or sansho, a spice to a beer.
Right.
If you have to be careful about how you do it, or ume, it's challenging to do well, but I think if you do it well, it could be really interesting.
That's I think one of the beauties of beer is that there are so many styles, certainly compared to wine or spirits, there are so many varieties of the same basic thing that you can,
Yeah, I was just reminded of the Imperial Gose by Gnomecraft that we had, which had all those tropical characteristics, tropical fruit in it. And salt in it. And that was I think that was quite successful. That one I really liked that personally.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna wrap up here. Again, try Minoh Rice Bock or try the Minoh beers, and please do stay healthy. Take care.
Yeah.
And what should they do, Al?
Well, I'd say drink your beer before the sell-by date, and drink good ones. And while you're at it, drink good ones too, so that try not to spill the beer all over your computer. That's another bit of advice I can give you from firsthand experience.
Take care, Al. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.